According to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, graffiti is the most common type of property vandalism, accounting for 35%. I, on the other hand, see street art as not a type of vandalism, but as a form of artwork or socially or aesthetically pleasing social commentary. Graffiti can actually be found back, the initial work for it was for the ancient etchings they would find out in ancient Rome, in Pompeii. You find it all over Rome, Egypt. Actually back then they used it to talk about advertising for gladiators, that sort of thing. Even if you go back to the social revolution in China, Chairman Mao would be a graffiti artist by putting his communist slogans up on walls. If you get back forward, even again a few more decades, to New York City, the birth of hip-hop, you have it as one of the 4 elements of hip-hop, which would be breakdancing, MCing, DJing, and finally graffiti. In 1989, I think hip-hop would be considered a type of artwork, purely because in the 1989 Grammys, the Best Rap Artist of the Year was awarded, which was actually Will Smith and DJ Jazzy Jeff, which isn't really artwork, but nonetheless, it did receive artwork. Despite its up-and-coming presence of it, a lot of people would object to it, would say it's horrible vandalism, it's an absolute plague, or it's an absolute scourge of society. On graffitihurts.com, they suggest raising funds, creating community murals to help take it down a bit. On the other hand, I would say it's not really worth it. I mean, it costs Denver about $1 million a year to get rid of all this graffiti. That was actually in an article in the Rocky Mountain News, October 17th, 2006. All right. We're going to go to the U.S. Department of Justice Problem-Oriented Guides for Problem Series number 9 in 2002. They would say that if graffiti is tolerated, then more serious crimes such as theft and assault may go unchallenged. Because when I walk down the street, if I see a piece of artwork on the wall, that just makes me want to mug people. There's a lot of people don't realize there's different types of it. You'd have taggers. Some famous ones would be Tox and CK1. Tox recently got arrested. He's been in jail for about 27 months. He caused about 200,000 pounds of damage in his decade-long tagging spree. However, he went on the side of the street before he was arrested to try and raise funds to pay for his lawyers. He managed to make about 9,000 pounds in 2 hours just by tagging pieces of paper, signing to people for about 75 pounds each. There's obviously demand for it. Lots of people would consider it artwork. And on the other hand, you have someone like Ein who has 5 convictions. He also has someone's artwork hanging up in the White House. In the same article in The Guardian, he's basically said that a lot of reason people tagging rather than doing street writing, which was a lot more common in the 80s, is that there's not enough time, there's much heavier convictions, much more people being convicted for this sort of thing. So rather than spending all week sort of dreaming up what they're going to put on the wall, they just kind of go up, have about 30 seconds to write something really fast on the wall and get out of there as quickly as they can. Of course, there are still street writers out there like Robbo, Banksy, and a really famous street art war. I don't have any pictures this time. I'm going to pour you all pictures this time, don't worry. The famous war they had. Banksy's probably one of the most famous street artists at the moment, purely because so many celebrities they desire his work, they want to put it on his walls. He recently finished a month-long tour in New York City where he was going around painting there. One of the weeks he actually was selling genuine Banksy pieces for about $60. About 3 people actually bought his artwork, and no one actually recognized it as artwork. They just saw some random guy on the street. About a week, this came out in the news. About a week later, another person just put various Banksy stuff out there. He said, "I'm not Banksy," and even had certificates of "I'm not Banksy" sold to people and completely sold out. Just goes to show what perception of artwork in fact is. Right? When it comes down to what artwork is, I think the best definition is that it's an expression or application of human creative skills and imagination. Right. In Pearls Before Breakfast, which is a Washington Post article from April 8, 2007, it's not to do with spray paint, it's actually to do with a classical musician named Joshua Bell. He's one of the best violinists in the world. He went out in the subways in Washington, D.C. with Stradivarius, played for about an hour, and made $32.17. About 4 or 5 people actually stopped and acknowledged it to be good music. One of them was a 4-year-old child. It just goes to show when this artwork is out of place, a lot of people won't actually recognize it for what it is. Rio de Janeiro is actually on the forefront of what I like to call, which would be the legalization of it. In 2009, they passed the law 70607, which basically says that you have to go to the property owner and get permission, but then you're allowed to pretty much paint on it whatever you want. If they're not happy, they can let a spray paint artist do something else. It's cut down on tagging, it's cut down on just senseless spray paint. It's actually got lots of colors, much more beautiful looking town, I think, as a result. So one could argue that there's definitely much more art in the area. Unfortunately, if we take it back home, there's not quite as much as art here. Everyone knows art's being cut into schools dramatically. Americans for the arts would say that it stimulates the develops imagination, critical thinking, refines cognitive and creative skills, development for informed perceptions, articulating the vision, learning to solve problems and make decisions. It builds self-confidence, self-discipline, develops the ability to imagine what might be and accepting responsibility to complete tasks to the finish. That's something they posted in 2002. So again, I just want to go back to my thesis, which is basically, it's not vandalism, it's actually a form of artwork. If you feel the same way, I would say let's go petition government, try and get a similar law passed like they did in Rio de Janeiro, or alternatively just pick up a can of spray paint. I think Banksy says it best though when Moses quotes from Wall and Paint, which is, imagine a city where graffiti wasn't legal, a city where everybody could draw whatever they liked, where every street was awash with a million colors and little phrases, where saying the bus stop was never boring, a city that felt like a party where everyone was invited, not just the estate agents and barons of big business. Imagine a city like that and stop leaning against the wall, it's wet.